Welcome to the Moments That Matter podcast. I am your host, Laura Escamilla.
And I am your co-host, Isaac Escamilla.
And today we're recording for our last episode of the season, and we have a special guest all the way from Laredo, Texas.
Welcome.
Mirian Granados. She is the Director of Recruitment and School Relations for Texas A&M International University. Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for joining us and sharing all the information in your institution. And what we're really trying to do is just expose our listeners who are parents and students from the Rio Grande Valley and what the opportunities are out there and what's available. So to start, why don't you share a little bit about your role as a Director of Recruitment at TAMIU, which is how it's referred to those who are familiar with it. So it's Texas A&M International University, affectionately referred to as TAMIU, and what your role is and what you do for the university.
First of all, thank you for the invitation. This is a great opportunity for us to go beyond Laredo and beyond the Valley to promote what the institution has to offer. We have a lot of opportunities for students, so this is a great opportunity for us to be here. My role as a Director of Recruitment, I oversee the enrollment of freshmen, transfers, and concurrent students to the institution. We see campus tours, visits, preview day, admissions, in testing, registration, financial aid. That is a little bit different. We do the process from admissions up to registration.
Okay.
So we're a one-stop shop.
Right.
We help the students register at every step. They will have one point of contact for the institution.
And sometimes some of the universities call it that, the one-stop.
Yes. We are a one-stop shop for them. We are very proud in having knowledge on financial aid, admissions. Like I said, my staff, it's the one that registers. We have a group of about 30 individuals, from part-timers to full-timers, part-timers, tour guides, mentors. I have a mentor locally in Laredo in each high school. They go and assist students at the high school. They usually graduated from that high school, and
Great.
now they're TAMIU students, and they go and assist
that's
students.
Nice. Yeah, to give them the personal experience that they went through. That's
we do
nice.
have the full-time recruiters in charge of schools. They're in charge of a local school and an outside school, area school. And I do have 2 regional recruiters here in the RGV area.
Nice.
It sounds like a really well-rounded team.
Laredo's really large, so it's necessary.
It is, yes, it is. And it's a large team. Hard to manage. The majority of them are younger. So it is a good group to manage.
I think so too.
So for the recruitment side, which, we want to focus on what TAMIU has to offer for students. So talk to me a little bit about how you make that happen for new students. For high school seniors, you go to college fairs and you give them information, or do you set up meetings with them?
We do a little bit of everything. We do have week-long fairs in special areas. For example, the Valley, there was TACRO here. We do have Houston, San Antonio. There's weeks that we go in fairs. But in the areas that the recruiters are assigned to, they are assigned to schedule meetings with students or with the counselors or with classrooms, do classroom presentation, and teach them what TAMIU has to offer them. The majority are alumni from TAMIU, so they experience firsthand. We do that. We do college fairs. For example, sometimes there'll be a TAMIU at the Valley. So we'll bring a group of our staff here to make sure the students are admitted. What is the process? Where they're at? To talk to parents. Sometimes they have a lot of questions in regards what is the path. They don't want to let their babies go.
Right.
Because there's a lot of first generation or questions that parents have that students don't have. So that's when they meet the full-time team, the administrative team.
So very similar to how we handle the scholarship. We go into schools and share information to the students and how to apply and do those things, but also to parents to give them information on what their students need to expect in the future and that kind of thing.
And if sometimes the counselor will say, hey, let's have a special event for TAMIU here, we'll be there and we can arrange anything new with them as well.
Okay, right, awesome. So let's do a little bit of the general stuff. I know we talk about it a lot, is state schools often have automatic admission for universities within the state, and TAMIU being one of them. So let's talk a little bit about the general admissions requirements for students. We're high school freshmen trying to see if they're qualified for admissions there at TAMIU. Can you talk a little bit about that criteria and what that looks like?
Of course. TAMIU is very lenient with their admissions. We do accept top 40% automatically.
Nice.
They have automatically admissions. Then SAT, ACT is not required, but it is recommended for scholarships. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on.
Yeah.
For top 40 automatic admissions, low 60%, we do require an SAT of a 980 or an ACT of a 19.
So automatic admit for any students from the state of Texas.
Top 40, top 40. Even international students, we do get a lot of international students. They do a ranking letter. So if they are in top 40%, they do go ahead and be admitted.
Oh, great. Okay. That's interesting. That's really cool.
And with SAT, ACT scores, that'll be for scholarship purposes.
Definitely.
So what are the deadlines? I imagine the cycle's open now for freshmen to apply, or future freshmen to apply. What does that look like as far as admissions? What does it close? Is there a priority deadline, or how does that work?
Fortunately, TAMIU does rolling admissions, so the students can get admitted the first day of class. We don't recommend it. Why? Because they lose on, we have very good scholarship opportunities for them, so they lose on the scholarship. The priority deadline will be February 1st for scholarship purposes, but we do have rolling admissions, top 40%. Like I said, the application is free. There is no essay for the students, so they can go ahead and leave it also as an option.
Okay, so what does that look like for scholarships and financial aid? So that deadline's February 1st. And obviously, you mentioned they don't need their scores for admissions, but obviously it'd be considered for scholarships. What do those scores look like?
So we have 5 tiers in scholarships. It depends. We do go based on ranking or SAT or ACT. So they have 3 opportunities to get a scholarship. The highest presidential award is $30,000 for 4 years. You can be top 1 or 2%, or SAT of 1360 or above, ACT of 29.
Okay.
The achievement award is $25,000. It's top 3 or top 4% of their class automatically. If you have that, if you're top 3 right now and you submit your application, your transcript shows it, you receive this $25,000 divided into 4 years. And the SAT is $1,290 and ACT $27. The Pride Award is $20,000 divided for 4, so it's 5 per year. It's top 5, top 6%, 1,250 SAT, and a 26 ACT.
So the top rank is it's about 7,500.
So a student with top 10% in their class will automatically receive a scholarship. So it's based automatically top 10, and SAT, the lowest is 1,160, and the ACT is a 24. That's the lowest that they will guarantee. Exactly.
And for 4 years, what is the requirement to keep the scholarship?
As long as they meet a progress towards degree, they meet 30 hours applicable every year, counting summer, so they can continue with the scholarship.
So they need to complete 30 hours every single year, which is about 15 hours or some hours if you don't go to summer school. That's not bad. That's doable. And a GPA requirement?
It's a 2.5. As long as they pass the classes, they should be fine. If they have any issues, there's an appeal process that we can assist them with. So,
and what is if you have the information, the cost of attendance at TAMIU?
We're looking about, with tuition and fees, we're $9,000 per semester. We are ranked one of the best bang for the buck, one of the most affordable universities.
Okay, great to know. So if they have that top tier scholarship, they're getting $7,500.
This will be for their dorm.
And
if they have full financial aid.
And $9,000 essentially is what it's costing them. So
exactly.
That's not a lot.
That sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Usually students depending on their income, of course, with FAFSA, they do have most probably tuition and fees. FAFSA will cover them, and this will cover housing. They will still meet maybe depending on which one they get, a little bit more. We also offer housing scholarship depending on its first come, first serve of students who are admitted, registered by a.
So I imagine most of your students are local, so they don't utilize the housing, but you do offer it for freshmen.
Exactly. Yes, it's for the first year. It's about $3,000. What we give, they get to pick either divide it into 2 semesters or apply it all into 1 semester, whatever is more convenient for them.
Okay. Now, do you find that people commute from our area to Laredo for this?
Usually RGV, they don't commute that much, but like I do have Zapata, El Cenizo, other closer areas do. It's a 3-hour drive, so it's a little bit harder. I just drove from here, so it's not that, that's an advantage of TAMIU in the Valley, because it's not that close, it's not that far. So students still get to enjoy their mom's meals on the weekend.
Close enough to visit, far enough not to get visited.
Yes, exactly. You have the full college experience. You leave out of town.
Right.
You have your study abroad programs, what we're mostly known for. the full college experience, but not that away, not that close, not away, that far away.
So your mom's not gonna drop in
Yeah.
anytime soon.
She's gonna have to come.
she's gonna have to make it that way. So how many students do you feel like you have from the Valley?
The Valley fluctuates. Our
Mhm.
goal is about 80 to 100 students.
Oh,
That
okay.
is the amount that we would like. After COVID, it did change. We were in the 80s. It did change. It did affect it because maybe
People wanted to stay
yes,
closer.
different
Yeah.
interests. Yes, we did lose representatives here. We had a regional, and then I had to change. They got hired somewhere else,
Yeah.
and then they left. So now we do have two, with hopes of assisting this area that it's where
To
there's so
increase,
many
yeah.
students,
Right.
We have a
there's so
lot.
many institutions, and there's always something for someone.
Yeah, for sure. So what does that look like as far as diversity on campus? You have international students you mentioned,
Yes.
obviously students from the Laredo area, some from the Valley. You said you had recruiters in San Antonio, so you have from all over the state.
The majority do come from Webb County.
Mhm.
85% of our students come from Webb County. 15% come from out of town.
Okay.
We do have a good amount of international students, being athletes or coming from a prospective student PSA program that were not admitted to A&M, were admitted to
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
So we have a little bit of everything. A lot of internationals. Right now, we have a lot of students from Nepal. We
Oh.
have Switzerland, Korea, because we
Wow.
are international programs. The accreditation and the business school that we have, it's a very good accreditation. So your degree is valued internationally. So
Yeah, our daughter just finished her MBA and she was
Oh.
looking at that program at A&M International because it did have that accreditation. Really interesting. But we're not talking about master's degrees. We're talking about right
we
now.
offer that's a possibility for everybody. Maybe parents who
Definitely.
Referring to the business program, obviously that's a unique aspect of TAMIU to offer to students who are interested in business, international business. There's a lot of students who do that. Can you talk to me a little bit about the programs offered to students?
Yes, definitely. Most popular programs are nursing, education, criminal justice, biology. A lot of medical students want to be biology. We don't have a medical school. We have a biology program and chemistry, and our business programs. They are internationally accredited. So we have a bachelor's of business administration, economics, marketing management, a little bit of everything, all the way to doctoral programs
Very nice.
in business. They, like I mentioned, it's internationally accredited, so your degree is valued. Professors from all over the world, especially in their field or is specified, maybe business, they have their own businesses, they have their own careers in business. They're the ones teaching internationally. Like I mentioned, they come from all over the world. Sometimes students still struggle a little bit in understanding the language, or especially in the math aspect, but they do have that experience. Those are our most popular majors in general.
That's great. I like that. That's a lot.
So what does that look like? A student coming in, they're coming from the Valley. What does Laredo have to offer as far as the community? It is very different from the Valley. I visit Laredo often. It is a beautiful community, but it is very different from what we're used to. Can you talk a little bit about the community, what that has to offer for a student that moves to the area?
Yes, I lived in McAllen, and there is a different aspect.
And both
of the Valley.
Hispanic communities, but very different.
Yes, it's an advantage in that part that you're still not traveling up too much up north, that you're going to have a culture shock, especially if you're from a border town. It is another border town. We're very friendly. I would like to say that. What can I say? I am from there, right?
I can vouch for that.
We're very friendly. We're very welcoming. I've had students that sometimes they haven't said, they're there like, oh, what do I do? My car broke down. And they help each other out. So that's something that we do. We're good at. In regards to the city, we are in the outskirts of the city. There's always something to do. But for example, if students want to go to do grocery shopping, they arrange something with student engagement and they will take them. But we are a little bit on the outskirts.
Yeah,
of
it's a
the
beautiful
city.
campus, but definitely not right in the middle of everything, which is very busy. Everything is very
and
busy.
right now, there's a little bit of construction.
Yeah.
They're expanding the loop, the express, the loop 20s. They're adding another 4 roads. So it's right now it's a little bit hectic, but it's good because we're growing. Laredo is a major port of import and export to the United States. So that's something. We also have, I forgot to mention the international logistics major. That is one of our newest major, which they get to experience. I mentioned the major port of import and exports.
Right.
So what I love about Laredo and the community that was very strange to me, but I loved it, is the full Washington's birthday celebration. That's like a full month of it.
Yes.
Wonderful
And it's more
activities.
than
It's
a month.
beautiful. Is it more than a month? I feel like it's a month. All of January,
No, yeah.
February. It is an amazing experience
It
that is
is.
very different from anything. I don't think we have anything like that
Can
here.
you
Very
talk to me a
unique.
little bit about that? Because I don't know what you're talking about at all.
Yeah.
Laredo celebrates George Washington's
Washington's birthday.
birthday.
Okay.
And there's a
So
whole association just
It's
for
an-
WBCA
yes.
that's just for this organization.
And there's 2 months long of events, parades,
So-
balls.
Picture the mission, like the citrus
Right.
parade with the Miss Orange and whatever
Right.
on steroids. This is, yeah,
Like
everything.
George Washington,
Yeah,
you see
dressed
there.
up.
You
There's
get
a George Washington.
nominated
Yes, he gets.
and-
Yes, there's some association. Beautiful dresses the girls wear.
Amazing.
Yes,
Yeah.
it takes you back in time.
It sounds incredibly patriotic.
so
It sounds really
the-
cool.
The family,
Yes.
the family that founded our nonprofit, the Lamantia family, their daughters, they live in the Laredo community. Oh my gosh, the pictures, the gorgeous dresses, but just the carnivals and the parades and the events and all the things that surround this. It's not like a weekend. This feels like
Sometimes our recruitment cycle has to be planned around it. Because
yes,
we have the
because
parade. We have,
the entire community is engaged
Yeah.
with it. I imagine the students are involved and there's volunteers and there's all kinds of things that have to happen. So that is such a unique thing that to me, I don't think I've seen anywhere. I guess even in San Antonio Fiesta, that's only like a week. This is like forever. It feels like.
They already sent out the invitations
Yeah,
for
so-
the parade in February, so we're signing up
Yeah,
with
there's
TAMIU.
like
It's
all
always
kind. I
fantastic.
would just offer calling because it's been a while since I've been involved with the event side of the company. But yeah, it's like Jalapeno Fest and there's carnivals and
There's
the
the Jacuzzi
yes,
downtown.
Yes, the jacuzzi. Yeah,
So there's certain golf tournaments.
yeah, it was crazy.
Princess Pocahontas ball gown, also the ball.
Yeah,
So there's
there's
a little bit.
tons of stuff that happens. So
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So-
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
a little bit of
If
of
you
the
Spring break
become-
has got nothing on, on this. Yeah.
If you become a student there, then you can expect to be part of a strong community.
Yes, definitely. It is something that we're still working because TAMIU is if you're in TAMIU, you're there because of TAMIU,
Yes.
the campus. But in fact, for the George Washington Parade, they do have the gowns. They're showcasing them. But that is something that the majority of the students are on campus. If they go out of campus, it's because they're joining this event.
They're participating
They're
in this.
participating. We do have
huge-
the carnival, which is just across the loop from us. Usually students will go from there.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
It is really something to behold. So my notes were the community events because I wanted you to bring up this event. It has to be so much fun for people who are not from the area. And obviously, like you mentioned, 85% of your students are from Webb County, so they know all about it and they're in it, right?
They do, and we do try to do
they're
also
involved.
other events. For example, we do have the big event and the Make the Difference Day. You have students usually and faculty and staff, we join the community, the Laredo community, in making a difference. For example, we do to the Palmares Trail. We go and clean the Palmares Trail, which is a trail that usually bikers will go.
Oh, like a hike and bike
It's
trail.
yes, a
Yes.
hiking biking trail. So we go and we'll clean it. We'll be for a whole Saturday there and then make the difference. We go to the parks and paint the parks.
So
so they-
opportunities to volunteer and help the
Definitely.
community. That's
At least
awesome.
once per semester they're offered.
Those are very good things.
Talk to me about campus life for students that attend. What support services? You mentioned that your office and group will help them all the way to getting into the university and getting set up for their first. But once they're there, what are the resources like for them? As far as mental health is big, what resources they have if they need help with academics, tutoring, that kind of thing. What does the university offer for them? Which is, as a parent, something you get very concerned about.
Yeah.
Who's going to be able to help them if they need it?
So we try to take care of them in different aspects. For example, right now, something big, it's mental health. We do have counselors on campus if needed. Students are there, they can book an appointment. And if needed more extreme, there is a psychiatrist through virtual. They can prescribe medication if needed for the student, depending on the student. They are the doctors there. So we do try to take care of the mental health, but also taking care of the mental health is having academic help. Academic sometimes in school, it's a little bit stressful for them, of course. So we do have that academic help with mentors, the tutoring center. Something that we are good at is having our freshman class. They usually take a UNIF class, that's the university class, and they get a mentor with them.
Okay.
This mentor is usually an upperclassman that went through what they're going through. So it's the guidance of where are the resources to adapt to college life,
Awesome.
to
That's
adapt
different.
to, and sometimes some students will say, I don't need it, but some students will
Take
definitely
advantage, yeah.
take advantage of that and have that. Where to go register after your first semester?
Mhm.
Where is the tutoring center? Where is I need to take a test? What professor should I take next
Mhm.
semester? That peer mentoring has helped out. We also have one of the highest retention rates among the A&M regional schools. Among the Texas, we have one of the highest retention rate.
Mhm.
I believe that program has helped us
Absolutely.
retain students from one year to another.
I
Yeah,
think
that is
that's a
super
strong
helpful.
component, and I agree. That's probably why the numbers are so good for the university, is because, I mean, I didn't have any sort of mentorship when I was in, at Southwest, and I just, had guests like from someone like an upperclassman, like,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do next? What class is after this
Yeah.
one?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and they need to have a sense of belonging.
Right.
It happens with international. They come here from their country. They need to have a sense of belonging. So having somebody to go to in regards to academics or sometimes personal, where it's counseling, all those questions, a one-on-one does really help.
So what is the student body size for the university? How many students do you have?
It's a medium-sized university. We're about 8,000, a little bit more than 8,000 students. This is including everybody, graduates, online
Okay.
programs,
So what do the classroom sizes look like?
21 to 1 teachers.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, we like
So
to.
which is important with their academic success, for sure.
Exactly, exactly. We like to brag that we are a public institution, but we give the private institution treatment.
Yeah.
And I do see
It
it.
sounds that way, yeah.
I do see it because the 21 to 1, yes, freshman classes are a little bit bigger, but
Mhm.
because
The
they're
core
still,
class.
yes, and they're still trying to figure out what major they want. Everybody wants to be a doctor at first,
Yeah.
and they take the big classes.
Until they take biology.
Exactly. Or a nurse
I
until they
wanted
see
to be a
blood.
doctor until I took anatomy, and I was like, no.
I get a lot of those.
Yeah. I had,
So they
I had
want
to learn all the bones.
Can I skip? So I do have a lot of that. So that is a private school treatment. We're a medium-sized university. It's a beautiful campus. You get to experience that medium-sized university, small classroom. You get to know your professors. More important, your professors get to know you.
Right.
Why? Because sometimes you might not be passing a class or you might be struggling. But if you approach the professor, it's easier for them to work with you than a bigger institution. I always say that student has to choose a university that fits their needs.
Right.
Okay. Why? Yes, I want to go to a bigger university, and it has happened a lot that students, oh, yes, I want to go to Penn State. Yeah, so far away. Perfect. You got the grades. Do it. But my question to the student would be, are you willing? You're going to stay there the 4 years. Are you willing to be okay just coming once back a semester? So what did the student need?
That's why it's so important that students learn about every university and if it fits them, because you can pick a university, and we've talked about this on many episodes. On paper, it looks great. The football team is amazing. And the reasons that they pick these schools, because they're huge and they sound great.
It's more expensive when you have a football team.
Also more expensive. But at the end of the day, you have to feel good about it, because our kids visited several universities that were great and they could have gotten into, but they just didn't feel like them.
Sense belonging, where you belong, where you're going to succeed. We do have a lot of number one students that want to go to bigger universities, and they're good, but then all number ones are going to be there. So you need that special attention. So it's finding out
who you are,
what you need, and what institution fits the needs for you. So that's what we recommend. I always tell the student, explore TAMIU, visit campus. First of all, you're going to fall in love with the campus. It's a beautiful 300-acre lot that we have.
Campus, right?
It is we have javelinas, deer, skunks.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful campus, but it's like sense of belonging. Do you visualize yourself here? Is this where you're going to complete? Maybe it's first you're going to do your 2 years and transfer out. But the students have to do their research a little bit on what is it that they need and the type of students we want. TAMIU will be there to help you. That's what we are very known for. That's that private institution feeling of guiding you, knowing you, and helping you out through the years to graduate.
Yeah, for sure. And it sounds like you said, boasting your retention rate. Obviously, your graduation rate would follow that. And it sounds as if your alumni stick around because you have your recruitment people there. So they love the university, and that speaks a lot to the university, as opposed to just a school that they leave and they forget that they're there. So that's amazing. Do you want to give any advice to high school seniors where they can go learn more about the university aside from this episode, but visiting? Are there specific events to go visit the university, or they just sign up to go? Any advice for parents and students?
We usually have every semester, once a semester, a Saturday preview day. This past Saturday was this 9th. It was our preview day. The next will be February 1st.
Okay.
We'll be having a preview day. Students can sign in explore.tamiu.edu for the preview day. It is just a hands-on what TAMIU has to offer you. We do have 2 representatives here in the Valley. You can email enroll@tamiu.edu. And we'll guide them in the correct path.
And does that cost a student anything to attend?
No,
They just
no.
have to register to attend.
It's totally free. Like I said, I always tell them if the application is free. You put it in FAFSA, put it out there, and see how much TAMIU can give you in financial aid, in scholarship. But events, preview days, they can also request a tour and enroll at tamiu.edu if they would like to visit. And it's totally free.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Great information. And like I said, I've visited the university and we have scholarship recipients there, amazing students. So I highly recommend the university in considering it. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to learn and share all the information, the great stuff about TAMIU and Laredo in general and meeting you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for the invitation. And hopefully we can promote the institution because it has a lot to offer.
Yeah. And Isaac will put links to all of those emails and websites for students on the website.
All right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for joining us.